Hi, welcome to episode 2 in this 8-part series on employment law for managers. This series is designed primarily for managers and supervisors and focuses on real-world situations managers face every day: hiring, pay decisions, performance issues, and more. And where those moments can turn into legal risk if they're not handled properly. HR professionals already live in this space. Managers don't, and they shouldn't have to. But managers do need enough understanding to recognize when an issue becomes bigger than a routine management decision, and when it's time to involve HR or legal support. If you're a manager, this is about helping you lead with confidence and not fear, and giving you the tools to manage people effectively without accidentally creating legal problems for you or the company. Let me take you into an employment interview. You're in the middle of an interview with a solid candidate. The resume looks good, the interview is going great, you're relaxed, you're clicking, and things feel promising. So you ask what you think is a harmless question. Do you have kids? Or maybe, where's your family from? Or the classic, when did you graduate? You don't mean anything by it, but that one question just disqualified your entire hiring process. Not because you're a bad manager, but because interviews are one of the most legally dangerous places managers operate. And most managers don't even realize it. And here's the paradox of interviewing. It feels informal. It feels conversational, natural. Legally, though, it's anything but. The hiring process is governed by federal, state, and sometimes local laws, all designed to prevent discrimination, intentional or not. And the standard isn't, what did you mean by that question? The standard is, what could that question reasonably suggest? That's a very different lens. The EEOC boils it down to one simple principle: only ask information that is necessary to determine whether someone is qualified for the job. That's it. If the question doesn't tie directly to skills, experience, availability, or legal eligibility to work, it probably doesn't belong in the interview. And yet, this is where some managers drift. Let's talk specifics. Managers often get tripped up by asking the following: age. What year did you graduate? How long do you plan to work before retiring? Family and marital status. Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have daycare lined up? National origin. Where are you from? Is English your first language? Religion. Can you work Sundays? Do you have any religious commitments? Disability or health. Do you have any medical conditions? Have you ever taken medical leave? Do you need an accommodation? Have you ever had a workers' comp injury? Financial history. Do you own or rent a home? Have you ever filed for bankruptcy? Even if you're just making conversation, these questions suggest bias, and suggestion is all it takes. This also includes if you take the candidate out to lunch and engage in small talk. I know it's easy to let the conversation drift to topics unrelated to the job, so be careful. That lunch discussion, it's just as much a part of the interview as a more conversation that you held in the conference room. Let's take an example that I've seen play out. A manager interviews a candidate for a physically demanding role. They ask, have you ever had back problems? The intent is related to safety. You want to understand whether the candidate has worked safely in similar roles before, and whether prior issues could be aggravated by the job. The legal reality, that's a prohibited disability inquiry. The correct question would have been, are you able to perform the essential functions of the job with or without reasonable accommodation? Same goal, very different legal outcome. And here's the good news. You're not powerless in interviews. You just need precision. You can ask, can you meet the attendance requirements of this job? Are you legally authorized to work in the U.S.? Are you able to work overtime if required? Are you able to perform the essential functions of this role with or without accommodation? And do you have reliable transportation to get to work on time? Notice the pattern? The questions focus on ability and availability, not personal characteristics. One more trap that I'd like to talk about, and that's salary history. Many states and cities now prohibit employers from asking candidates what they made at their last job, because this can perpetuate historical pay inequities, particularly for women in minority groups. Basing offers on past pay can carry forward discrimination rather than reflect the value of the role. These laws are intended to promote pay equity, encourage market-based compensation, and ensure candidates are paid based on the job and their qualifications, not their salary history. And here's another quiet risk: interviewer notes. If you write older candidate, young energy, wouldn't fit culture, mom vibes, You've just created evidence. Interview documentation should reflect skills, experience, and job-related matters, nothing else. So here's the core lesson of episode 2. Interviews are not about getting to know someone, they're about evaluating whether someone can do the job. Every question should pass the test. If this showed up on a courtroom screen, could I confidently explain why it was job-related? If the answer is no, don't ask it. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about money, pay decisions, pay gaps, and why something you proved years ago can come back to haunt you. Because nothing creates lawsuits or resentment faster than unequal pay.
John Paul here. If you like this video, check out the HR Insight YouTube channel where we have more videos just like this. Make sure to click subscribe so you get notifications.